Global shipping is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. Ports, as critical nodes in the global trade network, are significant sources of these emissions. Every year, ports around the world release millions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This pollution contributes to the climate crisis. We need to act urgently to reduce these emissions. Greening our ports is not just an environmental imperative, it is a strategic investment in our future. Transitioning to green ports requires a multifaceted approach. We must invest in renewable energy sources to power port operations. We must implement shorter ship power systems to reduce emissions from ships at berth. And we must replace diesel-powered port equipment with electric alternatives. These investments will not only reduce CO2 emissions, but also improve air quality in and around port communities. The financial case for green ports is strong. Renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, can provide cost-effective electricity over the long term. Shorter ship power systems can reduce fuel costs for ships and improve their energy efficiency. Electric port equipment requires less maintenance and has lower operating costs than diesel-powered equipment. Moreover, investing in green ports can enhance a port's reputation and competitiveness. Increasingly, businesses and consumers are demanding sustainable practices throughout the supply chain. Ports that demonstrate a commitment to environmental responsibility will be better positioned to attract customers and investors. Green ports are simply good business. Ports require a significant amount of energy to operate. This energy is used to power cranes, lighting, refrigeration units, and other essential equipment. Traditionally, ports have relied heavily on fossil fuels to meet their energy needs. However, this dependence on fossil fuels is unsustainable. It contributes to climate change and exposes ports to volatile energy prices. Renewable energy sources offer a cleaner and more cost-effective alternative. Solar panels can be installed on rooftops and in open spaces within the port area. Wind turbines can be erected in suitable locations to harness wind energy. These renewable energy sources can generate clean electricity to power port operations. The transition to renewable energy can be financed through a variety of mechanisms. Ports can use a portion of their revenue to invest in renewable energy infrastructure. They can also seek partnerships with private sector companies to develop and operate renewable energy projects. Government grants and subsidies can also support the adoption of renewable energy in ports. By embracing renewable energy, ports can significantly reduce their carbon footprint. They can also become more resilient to energy price fluctuations. Renewable energy sources provide a stable and predictable source of electricity, shielding ports from the volatility of fossil fuel markets. Shorter ship power cutting emissions at berth. Ships traditionally run their engines even when docked at port. This practice, known as hoteling, generates significant air pollution and noise. It also wastes fuel and contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Shorter ship power, also known as cold ironing, offers a solution to this problem. Shorter ship power systems allow ships to connect to the electrical grid while at berth. This connection provides ships with the power they need to operate their onboard systems without running their engines. By eliminating the need for hoteling, shorter ship power systems dramatically reduce emissions from ships in port. Implementing shorter ship power requires collaboration between ports and shipping companies. Ports need to invest in the infrastructure to provide shoreside power to ships. Shipping companies need to equip their vessels with the necessary technology to connect to the grid. Government regulations can incentivize the adoption of shorter ship power systems. The benefits of shorter ship power extend beyond environmental protection. By reducing fuel consumption, shorter ship power can save shipping companies money. It can also improve air quality and reduce noise pollution in port communities. These benefits make shorter ship power a win-win solution for ports, shipping companies, and local residents. Ports rely on a wide range of equipment to handle cargo and manage operations. Much of this equipment is currently powered by diesel engines. Diesel engines emit significant amounts of pollutants, including particulate matter, nitrogen oxides, and carbon dioxide. These pollutants contribute to respiratory problems, smog, and climate change. Electrifying port equipment is essential for reducing emissions from port operations. Electric cranes, forklifts, and other equipment offer a cleaner and more efficient alternative to diesel-powered counterparts. Electric equipment is also quieter and requires less maintenance. The transition to electric port equipment can be supported by government incentives, such as tax credits and subsidies. Ports can also partner with equipment manufacturers to develop and deploy electric equipment. As the technology matures and production scales up, the cost of electric port equipment is expected to decline. Investing in electric port equipment not only reduces emissions, but also improves worker health and safety. Electric equipment produces no tailpipe emissions, creating a cleaner and healthier work environment for port workers. The reduced noise levels associated with electric equipment also contribute to a safer and more pleasant work environment. Greening our ports is not merely an environmental imperative, it is a strategic investment in a sustainable future. By investing in renewable energy, shorter ship power, and electric port equipment, we can significantly reduce CO2 emissions from port operations. These investments will not only benefit the environment, but also improve the financial bottom line of ports. Furthermore, ports can move towards zero net emissions by investing in carbon offsetting projects. Carbon offsetting involves investing in projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions elsewhere, such as reforestation or renewable energy development. By purchasing carbon footprint credits, ports can compensate for their remaining emissions and contribute to global efforts to mitigate climate change. The transition to green ports requires a collective effort. Governments, port authorities, shipping companies, and equipment manufacturers must work together to implement these changes. By embracing a vision of sustainable and resilient ports, we can create a cleaner, healthier, and more prosperous future for all.